do all the videos and then go see stuff before when it's not live. Alright, January 28th, 2019, probably 11 something, 11 almost 11:20 in the morning. My full disclosure and permission and warning is all January 22nd videos 1 through 3 pretty much covers it. But every single time I just say that I'm not a professional anything, a long-term consumer of mental health products and therapies and stuff. And I'm doing this kind of for my own deal. But there you have it. So, mindfulness, the practice of getting control of our own mind and our own thoughts. And this is 7 easy ways to be mindful every day. Mindfulness has a way of sounding complicated, and it's anything but. Mindfulness is paying attention in a particular way on purpose, in the present moment, non-judgmentally, according to Marsha Lucas, PhD, psychologist and author of Rewire Your Brain for Love. Literally, you can rewire your brain. There's elasticity and plasticity of our neural, anyway. There are many simple ways you can be more mindful. Here are 7 tips to incorporate into your daily life. 1. Practice mindfulness during routine activities. Try bringing awareness to the daily activities you usually do on autopilot, said Ed Halliwell, mindfulness teacher and co-author of the book Mindful Manifesto. The Mindful Manifesto. For instance, pay more attention as you're brushing your teeth, taking a shower, eating breakfast, or walking to work, he said. Zero in on the sight, sound, smell, taste, and feel of these activities. You might find the routine activity is more interesting than you thought, he said. And these people have no idea who I am. I doubt they would approve of me as a person, but I appreciate their material. Thank you. 2. Practice right when you wake up. According to Lucas, mindfulness practice first thing in the morning helps set the tone of your nervous system for the rest of the day. Yeah. Increasing the likelihood of other mindful moments. If you find yourself dozing off, as Lucas does, just practice after having your coffee or tea. But don't read the paper, turn on the TV, check your phone, or email until after you've had your sit, she said. 3. Let your mind wander. Your mind and brain are natural wanderers, much like a crawling toddler or a puppy, Lucas said. And that's a good thing. Having a busy brain, Lucas said, is actually an asset. That's nice. The beneficial brain changes seen in the neuroscience research on mindfulness are thought to be promoted in large part by the act of noticing that your mind has wandered and then non-judgmentally, lovingly, and gently bringing it back, she said. 4. Keep it short. Our brains respond better to bursts of mindfulness, Lucas said. So being mindful several times a day is more helpful than a lengthy session or even a weekend retreat. Well, that's nice. While 20 minutes seems to be the gold standard, starting at a few minutes a day is okay too. For instance, you can tune into your body, such as focusing on how your shoes feel on your feet in that moment, or giving attention to how your jaw is doing, such as, is it tight, loose, or hanging open at the audacity of the person in front of you in the coffee line, Lucas said. 5. Practicing mindfulness while you wait. In our fast-paced lives, waiting is a big source of frustration, whether you're waiting in line or stuck in traffic. But while it might seem like a nuisance, waiting is actually an opportunity for mindfulness, Halliwell said. When you're waiting, he suggested bringing your attention to your breath. Focus on the flow of the breath in and out of your body from moment to moment, and allow everything else to just be. Even if what's there is impatience or irritation. Pick a prompt to remind you to be mindful. Choose a cue that you encounter on a regular basis, CUE, to shift your brain into mindful mode, Lucas said. For instance, you might pick a certain doorway or mirror to use drinking coffee or tea as a reminder, she said. 7. Learn to meditate. The best way to cultivate mindfulness in everyday life is to formally train in meditation, Halliwell said. He compared practicing mindfulness to learning a new language. You can't just decide to be fluent in Spanish unless you already are. You have to learn the language first, he said. Practicing meditation is how to learn the language of mindfulness. Meditation helps us tap into mindfulness with little effort, he said. He suggested finding a local teacher or trying out CDs. Mindfulness isn't a luxury, Lucas said. It's a practice that trains your brain to be more efficient and better integrated with less distractibility and improved focus. It minimizes stress and even helps you become aware of your best self. Lucas cited Richard Davidson's research at the Laboratory for Effective Neuroscience at the University of Wisconsin, which shows that all of us have an emotional set point. Some of us have more of a tendency toward withdrawal, avoidance, negative thinking, or other depressive symptoms, whereas others have a greater tendency towards positive moods, such as being curious, tending to approach new things, and positive thinking. Richard Davidson has found that through mindfulness, we may be able to train our brains and shift our set points. Mindfulness practice now has an abundance of neuroscience research to support that it helps our brains be more integrated. It helps our brains be more integrated. So your everyday activities, thoughts, attitudes, and perceptions are more balanced or well-rounded, Lucas said. This is retrieved from http psychcentral.com. Easy ways to be mindful every day. Psych Central. Fabulous.